up, guys? The best support is not Sanhua, it's not Mortefi, heck, it's not even Yingling. The best support in the game right now is staring at the screen in front of you. Taoqi. Subscribe! Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video, and today I'll be presenting to you guys this very interesting find that one of my community members have discovered. Shout out to for discovering this. Taoqi's Resonance Chain 6 has a nuclear mistranslation. TLDR. Holy shit, I did not know she could do that. TLDR, if you were to take a look at Taoqi's Resonance Chain 6, we only have discovered this very recently because, you know, Yingling's banner, the banner was so good that he broke the goddamn game, right? Me, myself, I decided to get a little bit of an additional 8 from my Oilers. Huge shout out to my Sabaton, right, for getting us our E6S5 hour link, right? So, as a result, a lot of players, not just me, myself included, but a lot of players have gotten Yingling's as a character, as well as maybe some of her dupes. So, in the process of pulling for Yingling, the rate up character for Yingling is actually none other than Taoqi. So, I would say that quite a lot of players right now in the game, they probably do have access to a full Resonance Chain 6 Taoqi. And the Resonance Chain 6 Taoqi, if you take a look over here, the damage of Taoqi's basic attack and heavy attack is increased by 40%, while the shield granted by Resonance skill holds. I have cross-referenced this with the CN version. So if you were to take a look at the CN language, it does in fact refer to only Taoqi specifically. Taoqi's 普攻和重击伤害, it is only for Taoqi herself. Now what's going on with this Resonance Chain 6 is that I've noticed, or rather R has also noticed, that if you were to press her shield, you see these 3 little floating things around here, right? These 3 little floating shields. During the time where her shield is active, she gains a massive 40% basic attack damage bonus, as well as a 40% heavy attack damage bonus, right? So this is for Taoqi. Skill is working as intended, and if you guys are wondering how long does this shield last, it will last up to 3 times. So every single time you get hit, one of the shield goes down, or 30 seconds. But the cooldown of this shield, as you guys can see over here, is actually faster. It's faster than you can actually charge up. So you could theoretically, if you would just dodge everything, have a infinite shield uptime. You could permanently cast this shield whenever it's up, right? So theoretically, you can have a permanent 40% basic attack damage buff, as well as heavy attack damage buff. But that being said, this item by itself is really not that great for Taoqi because specifically, she's not someone that deals a lot of damage. The easiest is more to just bring her base levels, baseline damage up higher, since the way her kit functions is usually from her parries, right? Taoqi as a unit, she primarily does damage from parry. And if the enemy do not hit you, or if you don't parry, then you cannot consume this, you cannot perform this big hit, the resolving caliber. So the uptime for this timed counters is quite short, because you need to get hit, right? You need to get hit. But what if this 40% basic attack damage bonus and heavy attack damage bonus, it is applied to your teammates? And that's where this comes to play, which is why Taoqi, I believe, is the strongest support that we have as of the current version 1.1 patch. Time of recording is going to be the 7th of June, 5:41 PM, right? So what I have noticed is, if you were to swap over to Danjing, for example, the shield will also last, yeah? So this shield lasting is fine, right? It is meant to be this way. Taoqi is like a pseudo support. If you get hit, you get a reduced damage taken, and the shield counter goes down, right? So this is working as intended. But what's not working as intended is Taoqi's Resonance Chain 6, the 40% damage buff, as a 40% base attack damage buff and the 40% heavy attack damage buff. So if you take a look over here, Danjing, right now, her stats for her base and heavy is gonna be 26.6% as well as 17.3%, right? So keep in mind of this buff multiplier right here. So let me just enter into battle to kind of showcase exactly how... So if I were to go ahead, pop this up over here. So now I have the shield, right? Going into the buff, you can see that Danjing's basic attack and heavy attack bonus have straight up increased by 40% each. That's completely bonkers. I do believe that for Verena as well, it is also the same thing. Because the shield, you can see that the shield is still there, yeah? The shield is still there. This little shield is still there. So I believe even Verena gets a 40% basic attack damage bonus and a 40% heavy attack damage bonus. So this 40% buff is straight up applied to your entire team for both basic and heavy attack. And remember what I said, if this shield is not damaged, we mean to say if this shield is not consumed, it will last pretty much 30 seconds, but since the cooldown of Taoqi's shield is so fast, you can have a 100% uptime on this. You can have a 100% uptime on this shield. Okay, my bad. My Taoqi is level 1, but I'm a little bit indirect. You pretty much can have a 100% uptime on Taoqi's 40% basic attack and 40% heavy attack damage buff. Now, some of you guys might be saying, yo, MrPokke, what if it's just a visual bug? What if it's just, you know, this thing says here it's 40%, this thing says here is 46%, sorry, 62 and 66, right? What if it's only the numbers and it doesn't actually change the damage numbers? So, to kind of showcase a point here, the easiest way is just to see if Danjing's basic attack's damage increases with the shield, right? So, oh, yeah, right here. Okay, let's just test it on you then. Let's just test it on you. Let's wait for the shield to kind of expire a little bit first. Okay, okay. So, right now, my basic attack is 376, 363, 766. So it's around 376 to 766 for a crit and non-crit. So notice what happens. This is without the buff, yeah. This is without the damage buffs. This is without the basic attack damage buff and whatever it is. So upon casting Danjing's shield, oh my god. Casting a shield, and now your buff is gonna be 66% attack buff and heavy attack buff, right? So remember, the damage is now around 37-ish for non-crits and 760 for crits, right? So now with the 40% basic attack damage bonus, does the damage number increase or is this strictly a visual bug? 940, 995, 488, 995, 995, 488. So it is very, very clear that yes, this is in fact not a visual bug. This 40% basic attack bonus is actually real. So what about heavy attack? So let's take a look at Danjing's heavy attack, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna set up my gauge a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna let the buff expire real quick. So now my buff is gone. My heavy attack damage bonus is 17.3%. Okay, so my heavy attack at max stacks is gonna be around 2.2k for a crit and 1.1k without a crit, right? 1.1k, 2.2k, roughly. That's without the buff. So let's kind of test it on another mob and see how much damage we do with Taoqi's shield. So now I'm going to apply Taoqi's shield. And let's see how much this heavy attack is. 2.6, 1.3. So it went from 2.2 thousand per crit to 2.6k per crit, which is a 400 damage increase out of over 200, which is pretty much a roughly 20% final damage buff. 18%, 18.1%, 80.2% final damage buff per hit on the heavy. Right? It is not a final 40% damage increase, but it is a damage bonus, right? So With this, we can see that both the basic attack damage bonus as well as the heavy attack damage bonus, they are real and they are applied to pretty much your entire team. Your Tanjing has it, your Taoqi has it. Where's Taoqi? Oh, your Taoqi won't have it because, you know, she's not on. The credit needs to be on, right? So now that if we have Verena on, then Verena will also get the 40% basic attack and heavy attack damage buff. But if your credit is not on, then unfortunately they're not gonna be getting the buff. So whoever is on the field right now, I think the game's code just recognize them as Taoqi, and they can't distinguish whether the unit on field is Taoqi or not Taoqi. They just assume that anyone on the battle right now is Taoqi. So anyone is Taoqi. So yeah, this is a very insane find. I'm not sure if this is meant to be working as intended. I'm not sure if the devs just wanted to make Taoqi's Resonance Chain 6 absolutely completely bonkers, because I just want you guys to think about it, right? It's a 40% permanent, pretty much a permanent basic attack and heavy attack damage buff. 40%, or rather 30 seconds. And the fact that this shield pretty much lasts forever unless you just get hit early, it means this thing is just never gonna go away. It's just never gonna go away. And for comparison, your Sanhua, her outro skill is a 38% damage amplification. Oh, they changed the wording. But anyways, the comparison is these outro skills, not only do they last only 14 seconds, but they are gone if you switch them off. Right now, you can switch off between any unit and they are always gonna get the buff as long as they're on field. That being said, damage deepen, or rather damage amplification, they changed the wording, versus damage percentage buff, it is different, right? The damage deepen, this amplified, it weighs more. This is more significant compared to damage percentage bonus. Nonetheless, Taoqi's Resonance Chain 6, as of right now, pretty much makes her one of, if not the best buffers we have in the game. I can very well see this being a viable strat for the next couple of days until they patch it, because, you know, all of our previous game-breaking bugs, the time stop bug, the Zawardo bug, the Thundering Tempers, they all eventually got fixed. I'm not sure if this is intended or if they're gonna fix this, but assuming that they actually want this to be, if they want it to be the case, then Taoqi is pretty much one of our best, not slot 2, but slot 3s we have in the game. So why would you run Verena when you can have Taoqi having a permanent 40% buff? Not to mention she has a shield, she's very tanky, and she makes parrying attacks very easy with the press and hold, right? Then your slot 2 can be any support, and then your slot 1 DPS is just gonna go bonkers. So yeah. With that, we've come to the end of today's content. Excuse my scarfed webcam quality, my camera died, but it is what it is. If you guys want to engage in any further discussion, turn on to the comments below or join the Discord, discord.gg for this Pokke really very active community of our race and Honkai on a daily basis. Check out my stream, twitch.tv for this stream every day. That's all I have today. All the best using Taoqi. Hope you